Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I have a very handy prepper item for those of you that like using alcohol stoves but may not have a way to support a pot on top of them. This is the TOAKS Titanium Alcohol Pot Stand. Alright everybody, welcome back. Now this is an incredibly small, kind of overlooked kind of item that maybe somebody who ran out and bought an alcohol stove wouldn't think to buy. So I kind of thought this was neat. I did pick this up for myself. These are like 20 bucks, they're $19.95, so they're not expensive, especially for titanium, and they are super lightweight. Now you'll notice this comes in 4 pieces, and all of them have the TOAKS logo on them. And it's very simple to put together. It does require a little pushing towards the end, but it's really simple. It's not, it's not anything that's going to require you to squeeze it together. The material is, of course, titanium. The weight is 1.2 ounces, or 34 grams, for the total of 4 pieces. Now, for smaller pots, you may only want to use 3 pieces, and you can do that with this. But for the 4 pieces, it's 1.2 ounces. Very lightweight. If you use 3 pieces, expect to spend some time bending the tabs to kind of fit. Now, it won't damage it. You can use the 4 pieces again, but you're just going to spend some time moving them around a little bit. So let's set this up for you on camera. It is fairly simple. It can be a little tricky when you're new and you kind of got to hold everything in place, so if it blows apart on me, don't laugh. But it isn't as difficult as it looks. You're just going to put these in through here, like that. Each side has a slot like that, and these little tabs that stick out. And I'm going to try to do this way. Let me take it off camera for now. I'll put it there. You can see it. I just wanted to see if I was lining up or not. I was. Okay. So there you have 3. Now, if you want to do 3, of course, you can close it right there, and you've got 3. However, you're going to need a very small alcohol stove to fit in there. And I will show you what it fits with as far as alcohol stoves. Some common ones, some ones that I have. Nothing exotic or unusual. As you can see, it's already popping out of the tabs here because I put it down. Don't put it down when you're assembling it. I just did that to show you. So what I do here is I'm going to hold it with my fingers pushing out a little bit. We're going to stick this tab, these tabs, like that, in here. There we go. Now here is where you may have to push and tweak it around a little bit. And I just lost the back tab there. Let me get that in there. It really isn't as hard to set up, folks. I'm just clumsy this morning. There we go. All right. So here's where you're going to have to push a little bit and kind of tweak it to get it in there. And I'm at a weird angle here, so I'm not seeing it. There we go. There we go. So that is it. And yes, it did take me a little bit to set it up because I was kind of clumsy, but it's not that difficult to do. So this will work with a bunch of different types of alcohol stoves. There is one that I did bring out to show you that it won't work with. If you guys have ever picked up one of these German/Swedish/French, whatever the heck it is, cook kits with the stove on the bottom, it does come with an enormous alcohol stove. That's it there. Now, obviously, that's not going to fit in there. Let me give you a size comparison to a normal Trangia. Okay? You can see that's way bigger. A normal Trangia will fit in there nicely, no problem. What I'm going to use today, and your homemade alcohol stoves from soda cans will fit in there perfectly as well. What I'm going to use today is this little Lixada titanium stove, in keeping with all titanium, and as you can tell, that fits in there perfectly. No problems whatsoever. And I'm going to get a little piece of wood underneath it because these get hot and I don't want to melt my plastic. And we're going to light it and try it. And I'm actually going to time it. It's more a test of the stove, but I want to time it to see if it makes any difference with the pot stand on here, because if you've seen me test this before, you've seen me test it with the 2 cross members that just fit inside here. Those are good, but this is also an excellent windshield as well. And of course today, a day where I'd love to take it outside and show you, it's dead calm, no wind. It never fails. Whatever the weather I want it to be like for a video, it's the exact opposite. It will kind of block you from having too much wind in there because alcohol stoves are very susceptible to wind. So let me get that all set up and I will show you quickly. It does come with a little sack that fits in there nicely. Let me get this all set up and we'll set up the timer. I'm going to make some oatmeal, instant oatmeal, and we're going to try it out. I think I need like one 1.5 cups, because it's 2 of them I'm putting in there. So we're going to try it out with 1.5 cups and time it and see if that makes it any faster. I believe the last time I did this, it was around 5 minutes with the cross members inside the stove itself. So we're going to try it out. Let me get it set up for you. Alright, so I have it set up. I have the alcohol in it, a little protection underneath. And by the way, if you guys are interested in picking up these little wood cutting boards, they're like $3 at Walmart. I got this because, just for that reason, when I'm out here cutting up food, of course I don't want to cut it on this because it's dirty. And also, too, it protects it from melting the plastic and getting the plastic all tweaked. I'm going to show you a couple of common camping pots and pans that we use. First off, we're going to start off with the Stanley. Now, the Stanley's interesting because it's got the rounded bottom. It will kind of sit in it. But it'll sit in it rather sturdily. I mean, it's sitting in there pretty good. It's not going to move around. You're not going to have a problem with it. Of course, the $5 cup from Walmart, if you've ever seen these there for sale, it's kind of got a rounded bottom on it, so you got to be a little careful when placing it on there. But it does sit on there rather well once it's on there. This was a cook kit set that I picked up at one of our local survival prepper stores. And it will fit on there perfectly. And what we're going to be using today, which is the Besgardo 750 milliliter titanium pot. Now I know it kind of shows it rocking back and forth like that, but it is on there steady. You can see it's not going anywhere. If I could spin this around for you, you can see it's all the way over. So this will work very well with that. Now, another cool feature of this is that if you wanted to use this as, say, a small wood or twig stove, all you have to do is take your alcohol stove out, clear the ground area so you don't start a fire, put it down, and throw your twigs in. It would work very well for that too. So I really do like it so far. I'm a little disappointed that the Stanley, because of the kind of tapered bottom on it, doesn't fit in it perfectly. It kind of fits in it and not on it. But that's pretty secure. That's not going. I mean, that's not going anywhere. So, and also I brought this one out too because if you're really boiling a ton of water, of course, that will work perfectly as well. This probably would work well with a pan or if you wanted to cook something with an alcohol stove. So it is nice to have that little bit of a base there. And TOAKS generally makes well-engineered, well-thought-out stuff. So let's light it up. I'm going to put the water in here. And I'm kind of going to eyeball it a bit. I do have graduated markings on here, but I want like 1.5 cups. So we've got, there's 1 cup. And there's 1.5. All right, let me light this up over here. There we go. And we'll fill the top light so you can see it blooming. If it blooms. This is a very nice, oh, I thought I heard it. This is a very nice alcohol stove, this little Lixada titanium one. It seems to work very, very well. I've been really pleased with it. There it goes. It's starting to bloom up. And it's really, really lightweight. If you compare this to, say, one of these Trangias that are all brass, these are super high quality. They're amazing, and they do an awesome job, but they are heavy. So there we go. We got a bloom on it. And I'm just going to stick this on there ever so carefully. There we go. And start my timer. And I'll bring you back once that's boiled. And we'll see just how well that works. I got a feeling it's going to be very, very handy for using this type of stove. And I do like the fact that it's super lightweight, super easy to use, and not a whole hassle to put together. I did put it together kind of clumsily, but it does go together very, very simply once you've done it a few times. So, see you in a few minutes. 4 minutes, 24 seconds, rolling boil. We are good. So I didn't really speed up the time any, but it did make it a little more convenient to use. Now you remember I told you about this alcohol stove and how hard it is to put out because it doesn't come with a snuffer cap or anything like that. Well, what I do is generally I'll take an extra pot that I bring or anything that's got a cover on it and just cover it up. And it's done. Just like that. Very, very simple to put out once you do it the right way. Now because I don't want to scorch my hands to death, I'm using this cheapy Walmart cup to put my water into what I'm going to be eating out of. And it definitely does you good to have some gloves when messing around with all this hot stuff. And there you go. Problem solved. Got your instant oatmeal going in 4 minutes and 24 seconds. And that will thicken up nicely. And we'll be all set. So anyway, that is the TOAKS Titanium little alcohol pot stove stand. And by the way, it does cool very quickly. I'm able to hold this now. We just put that out, and I'm able to hold this. It's warm, but it's not hot at all. So definitely a cool little thing. What I am going to do is let it cool down fully and let that finish. And I will show you how to break it apart. Because breaking it apart again, too, you know, you got to kind of pull, and you're not going to break anything. Don't worry. It's a very strong material. And we'll finish this up and show you how that comes apart. All right, so we're all finished up. Emptied the stove out. Now to take that apart, I will show you. Just kind of pull like that, pull forward, and it should just fall apart. And then you'll just place it together like this and put it back into your kit. Oh, I got something in reverse. There we go. And you can kind of tell they're all straight and all the holes are lined up. So definitely a cool little feature and a cool little item. Handy as all get out if you're, you know, got alcohol stoves that you're using and you don't necessarily have a way to support a pot on them. I would think, because the little pots are kind of small, you know, it was on there sturdy, but I still was a little worried about it tipping, even though it wasn't going anywhere. It was on all four corners. I would think this would be better. This would be better for, say, doing something with a pan. If you were going to cook with a pan or a larger pot, maybe you were heating up soup for 2 or 3 people. Definitely a way to expand your stove's capabilities from just being able to do maybe 1 or 2 meals to being able to do 2 or 3 meals. So definitely a handy little item, and I like it. I like it. And for 20 bucks, you really can't go wrong with TOAKS stuff. TOAKS is really high-end quality stuff. I do have a couple of their pots. This is made by Best Gardo. I do have a couple of their titanium pots, and they really do make nice gear. And they do a good job with it. So that is the TOAKS Titanium Alcohol Stove Pot Stand, $19.95, so 20 bucks. You can pick them up at my link down below. I will have a link directly to these if you're interested. They do have the crossbars, you know, you can put them right across there. Really simple to use, but for something a little bit simpler, maybe something that, you know, can hold a little bit more weight, these are definitely pretty cool. I wouldn't trust the crossbars on there with that huge pot, you know, the huge expandable pot on there. It just would move too much. I got a feeling even the boiling would move it around too much. And there we go. We got our oatmeal all figured out. So definitely impressed with the little kit. I am definitely going to be using this in future videos. You'll probably see it when I use alcohol stoves because I like it a lot. One of the nice things about setting up my other area in my other room, in my storeroom, my second storeroom, for YouTube gear is now it's accessible to me. Before, it just became overwhelming and I couldn't get to stuff. So you'd never see it again in my videos because I don't know where it is, you know. Now I organized everything, I labeled everything in that second storeroom, and I'm able to pull stuff out. So we will be using this again when I use alcohol stoves. And honestly, my suggestion, if you want to get a little lightweight alcohol stoves, are these Luxada Titaniums. You saw how quickly that worked. It really worked well, and it fits right in there perfectly. So I like it. Anyway, folks, I will put a link down below where you can pick this up. The package, the item dimensions on it is 3 inches tall by 3 inches across. Each piece is 3 inches, and that's the height when set up. So it can be set up with 3 to 4 pieces to fit whatever pot you want to use. Again, if you're setting it up with 3 pieces, you're going to need a smaller alcohol stove. Or you're going to need to balance it on there, and that's not all that stable. So I would stick with the 4 pieces. Anyway, folks, the link will be down below for that if you want to pick one up. They are very affordable for titanium and very handy. I also have my Amazon affiliate store down below if you're interested in getting anything that we review in the channel. If it's on Amazon, I'll put it in the store there. We have our freeze-dried wholesalers link. Just by clicking that link, you're going to save 15%, and I had a conversation with him last night. He is stocking up. He's loaded for bear, and he will be able to give you guys food even when the other companies are closed up. He really saw this coming, sort of, and you know, I believe he's a little bit of a prepper himself, and he saw this coming. So you will be safe ordering from him. There's not going to be any kind of huge you know, outages or stuff. There may be a little 2 or 3 day shipping delay, but you will get your food, and he will have it. Also, below that is My Patriot Supply. PrepareWithIridium.com, PrepareWithIridium.com. Great food, easy to put together if you're new to prepping and you aren't a cook. You know, the Thrive and freeze-dried wholesalers are for people who know how to cook. And I know that sounds weird, and I'm not trying to be rude about it, but some people just don't know how to cook. The My Patriot Supply stuff's awesome. Literally, follow the instructions on the bag, throw the stuff in a bowl, and boom, you've got food. No recipes, no figuring out what am I going to make with this chicken or this beef. It's ready for you right there. And again, our Thrive Life freeze-dried store down below. Check it out, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.